Welcome students. Today we will discuss information science as a discipline. In an era characterized by the exponential growth of data and information technologies, the necessity for a discipline study of information science has never been more evident. This field explores the processes of collecting, analyzing and disseminating information, providing critical insights for numerous sectors including business, healthcare and education. By integrating concepts from computer science, library science and cognitive psychology. So, information science creates a comprehensive framework for understanding how people interact with information systems and how those systems can be optimized. Furthermore, the discipline addresses the ethical implications of information access and management, ensuring that technological advancement align with societal values. As we develop further into this domain, we will examine the various dimensions of information science, highlighting its significance and impact on contemporary society, while elucidating its role in fostering informed decision making and enhancing knowledge dissemination. Now we go to the definition part. What is called discipline? So, a discipline is generally understood as a specialized field of knowledge or study. It is often associated with academic departments within universities and is characterized by having professional associations and dedicated journals. The term can also refer to a system of rules or conduct emphasizing self-control and orderly behavior. A discipline refers to a distinct branch of knowledge that encompasses a specific area of study, research and practice. It involves systematic inquiry guided by established theories, methodologies and terminologies. Disciplines are dynamic entities that evolve in response to intellectual advancement and societal needs. So, definitions and context. Academic disciplines. In academia, a discipline is a distinct area of study or knowledge, often linked to specific academic departments and professional organizations. It represents a structured body of knowledge that is recognized by both faculty as well as administrators as a distinct area of inquiry. Now, behavioral discipline. Beyond academia, disciplines can refer to self-control and the regulation of behavior. This involves teaching and modeling behavior that encourages self-discipline rather than merely enforcing rules through punishment. Sociological and historical perspectives. So, historically, the concept of discipline has been significant in various fields such as, you can say, religion, military and also education, It has evolved to include aspects of social control and organizational behavior. Now we can start the key elements of discipline. So first one, if we consider the theoretical framework. In this, a set of core concepts and disciplines that examine phenomena with the domain. As for example, it includes Newtonian mechanics in physics or Maslow's hierarchy in psychology. Next, we consider the methodologies. So, disciplines employ specific research methods to validate and expand their knowledge base. For instance, experimental methods in biology, or it may be ethnographic studies in anthropology. We can next consider the community of scholars. So like researchers, educators and practitioners contribute to the growth of the discipline through collaboration and innovation. Now we can consider the institutions and organizations like academic department, conferences and professional bodies provide platforms for knowledge dissemination and application. If we consider as an educational program, that is the structured curriculum ensure the formal transmission of disciplinary knowledge across generations. Now we go to the next. What defines characteristics of academic disciplines? Academic disciplines are defined by their unique cultural characteristics, research methods, epistemologies, and organized bodies of knowledge, often recognized through academic journals and professional associations. Institutional and organizational features. So, disciplines are often defined by their institutional and organizational characteristics, distinguishing them from broader terms like fields or domains. Self-control and order. In broader sense, discipline involves maintaining order and compliance with rules which can apply to both individuals and organizations. Now we consider the general characteristics of academic discipline. Academic disciplines are structured bodies of knowledge that encompasses specific areas of study, research and inquiry. They possess distinct characteristics that differentiate them from other fields. Here are the key features that define academic discipline. How? First, we consider the logical structure. If we think every academic discipline has a logical structure consisting of network of concepts and generalization. This framework helps in understanding the relationship among various facts and theories within the discipline. Now we can consider the conceptual framework. So disciplines utilize a conceptual framework to categorize and interpret facts and events. This framework aids individuals in identifying and analyzing relationships among different phenomena, enhancing comprehension. Now we can consider the specialized knowledge. Each discipline is characterized by a body of accumulated specialized knowledge that pertains specifically to its area of research. This knowledge is often not shared within other disciplines, making it unique. Next, we consider the theoretical foundations. Disciplines are grounded in theories and concepts that effectively organize their specialized knowledge. For instance, psychology employs various theories to explain learning processes demonstrating how theoretical frameworks underpin the discipline's understanding. Next, we consider the specific terminology. Academic discipline develop a specific technical language or terminology that is tailored to their research objects. Take example, terms like ecosystem have distinct meaning in environmental science compared to business studies. Research methods. Each discipline adopts particular research methods suited to its specific needs and objectives. These methods may include experimental research, statistical analysis, fieldwork, or qualitative inquiry, reflecting the nature of subject matter being studied. Scholarly economy. Disciplines are characterized by a community of scholars who engage in research, teaching, and knowledge exchange within their specific field. This community fosters collaboration, intellectual discourse, and peer review, which are essential for advancing knowledge. Now we can consider the peer review process. Scholarly work within academic disciplines undergoes a rigorous peer review processes, ensuring the quality and validity of research findings. These processes is crucial for maintaining standards and contributing to the discipline's growth. Now, if we consider the interdisciplinary connections, while each discipline has its focus, many also engage in interdisciplinary approaches that integrate aspects from multiple fields to address complex problems effectively. Now, the societal impact. Academic disciplines contribute significantly to society by informing policy making, driving innovation, and addressing societal challenges through their research findings and applications. So, these characteristics collectively define academic disciplines and guide the pursuit of knowledge within specific fields of study. So, ensuring that they remain relevant and impactful in both academic and practical context. Now, we consider the definition and scope of information science. Emerging as a multifaceted discipline, information science encompasses the systematic study of how information is created, organized, accessed, and used. Its scope extends beyond the mere collection of data. It investigates the processes and technologies that facilitate effective information management and dissemination. We can say information science is a discipline that investigates the properties and behavior of information, the forces governing the flow of information, and the means of processing information for optimum accessibility and usability. It is concerned with that body of knowledge relating to the organization, collection, organization, storage, retrieval, interpretation, transmission, transformation, and utilization of information. It has both a pure science component, which requires into the subject without regard to its application, and applied science component, which develops services and products. So, as society generates immense volumes of information, the role of information science becomes increasingly crucial in ensuring that knowledge is effectively utilized for decision making and innovation. By integrating theoretical frameworks with practical application, information science reveals its significance in fields such as artificial intelligence and knowledge management, which are pivotal in transforming raw data into actionable insights. For example, the interplay between knowledge management and technological advancement such as AI-driven tools emphasize the necessity of understanding these disciplines, theories and methodologies to address modern information challenges. So ultimately, information science serves as a vital bridge connecting data, knowledge and effective decision making in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. Now we go to the historical development of information science. So we know information science first became known as a discipline during the 1950s. This term, information science and information scientist, were first used by Jason Faraday in the mid-1950s. And the library schools studies existed even before 19. So universities starts to accommodate library science as a more formal organized discipline since 1930s. In 1960s and 70s, emergence of information science was seen and most library schools start to rename their degrees as library and information science. It also converged with cognitive science and communication studies departments. In 80s and 90s, rise of computer science was seen. Many technology and engineering schools find informatics as a sub-discipline within their STEM degrees. In 90s, information science degree programs start to assimilate modern telecommunication and computing technologies under the information science degrees. In early 2000, information science disciplines start to experience rapid changes and drastically change the unseen barriers of the discipline in knowledge production. As a convergent discipline, it tries to establish its place in global knowledge politics. In 2005, iSchools Consortium was established as a part of the ongoing movement. Now we can see the core areas of study in information. So a comprehensive understanding of information science encompasses several core areas of study, all of which contribute to the effective management, dissemination and application of information. One primary focus is the development and implementation of assessment tools such as rubrics, which educators utilize to enhance learning outcomes in various disciplines. Research indicates that a teacher's purpose for using rubrics is closely linked to their perceived benefits and limitations. Additionally, information science investigates the citation practices within academic research, revealing patterns that information librarians and policymakers about resource allocation. For instance, a study on doctoral thesis in physics highlighted the significance of specific journals and publishers as core resources within the discipline, underscoring the necessity of understanding citation behaviors to optimize information access and utilization. Thus, these areas collectively illustrate the multifaceted nature of information science and its vital role in shaping educational and research practices. So, information science encompasses a broad range of subjects that integrate technology, data management and library sciences. So, we can say the key subject typically include in information science programs. So, we can see this tree of representation, the evolutionary structure of information science on its way of moving ahead with the modern technological environment apart from its theoretical facet branches. So, if we consider this diagram, so evolution of information science, if initially, that is introductory, it emerged in mid 20th century. That focuses on generally collection and it classify and retrieval. If we go to the definition part and scope, so it defined as study of processes, systems and methods. And we can say that information science is a interdisciplinary field. Now we go to the scope, includes like management, preservations and dissemination, so lot of subjects. Now we go to the historical development part. If we consider in pre-digital era, then the digital transformation. So in digital era, initial focus on libraries and storage. The focus was the collection and storage and retrieve. So for retrieving, that is the manual filing and classifications are the main focus. But in the digital transformation era, so introduction of computers revolutionized storage and retrieval. Now the development of databases and electronic systems changes the services, effective retrieval. So the access is easier and come to the user hand. Now we can the current trend, that is a big data, and nowadays application of AI is also so important. So in case of big data, large scale of data generation and it challenging traditional management. Nowadays we are very much acquainted the application of AI. So AI emphasizes data processing. Machine learning improves the accuracy of the retrieve or search methods. Now we can say that information science can different fields like computer science, library science and other fields. Within the computer science we can say data science, AI, and also in data science is machine learning, deep learning, NLP, CV, and in AI that is the indexing searching. On the other hand, library science, it can be classified like information retrieval, knowledge organization, within information retrieval like classification, metadata. In this way we can classify it in different fields. That is the computer science, which is the study of components and computational systems. And the library science, that is the study of organizing, classifying and preserving information. Data science, we know the field of extracting knowledge from where? Data. AI, artificial intelligence, the development of intelligent agents. And also the machine learning, a subset of AI that focuses on algorithms that learn from data. Deep learning, that is a subset of machine learning that uses artificial neural networks. And the natural language processing, NLP, that interaction between computers and human language. Computer vision, that is the field of enabling computers to see and understand images. Information retrieval, the process of finding relevant information. Indexing, we know, the process of creating and index for information retrieval. Searching, the process of finding information using search engines, different like Boolean logic, lot of things. Classification, the process of assigning categories to information. And we know the metadata, that is data about data used to describe an information. Now you got the key milestones in the evolution of the discipline. The evolution of information science has been marked by several transformative milestones that have shaped its current interdisciplinary stature. One pivotal moment was the establishment of formalized risk management frameworks, which emphasized the importance of data handling and record-keeping practices in safeguarding information integrity. So, these shifts underscore a growing understanding of the relationship between data and risk, significantly influencing how organizations approach information governance. These developments not only facilitated collaboration but also highlighted the emerging necessity for robust data management systems in the digital age. Ultimately, these milestones illustrate the ongoing transformation of information science, reflecting its vital role on navigating the complexities of data contemporary society. So we can now go to the, can information science be justified as discipline? This is the most vital thing. What kind of discipline is information science? One way of assessing this is to see where the subject fits within the academic structure of universities. For example, always expect to find physics and chemistry in science faculties and thereby conclude that they were scientific subjects. However, the information science tend to be dispraised. However, the information science tend to be dispersed. It has been called, among many other things, a meta-science and inter-science, a postmodern science and interface science, a superior science, a theoretical science, a nomad science, and interdisciplinary subject which should be renamed knowledge science, and a subject which may assume the role once played by philosophy in meaning science and humanism. There has been a growing consensus over the years that information science is a social science. Domain analysis, which is fundamental to our view of the subject, is based on the idea that groups of people have common information practices and interests and concerns, and is therefore primarily a social theory, and this implies that information science is primarily a social science, or perhaps it is no sort of science at all. Arms and Buckland suggested it might be seen as a liberal art, and Buckland argues that it is above all else a form of cultural engagement. That philosopher Luciano Floridi suggested that it is applied philosophy of information. So, constituents and core. Having formed an idea, though certainly not a precise definition of what kind of discipline information science is and what its focus of interest is, its constituent parts, and whether there is an irreducible core of the subject. Debates about what topics and subjects make up information science and which of these are its essential core have rumbled on in the literature for many years. They have typically taken two forms: attempts to enumerate the components of information science and attempts to produce maps, literal or metaphorical, showing how these parts fit together. The curriculum for information science education has been much debated over the years. Its core has been argued to comprise a variety of topics including human-computer interaction, information literacy, information management, documentation, library management, knowledge management, information organization, information society studies, bibliometrics, etc. So, mapping of information science or the broader LIS typically produced by the methods of informatics typically identify informatics, information retrieval, information seeking, information management, and library and archive studies as major recognizable components. We have to conclude that this confirms the picture of information science as a broad and diverse discipline, and that it is difficult to point to a small and unambiguous set of topics which comprise it. Specialized journals are also a feature of a mature discipline. Now we come to the most relevant point, that is justification of information science as discipline. Information science encompasses a broad range of topics including the management, retrieval and dissemination of information, which are crucial in our increasingly data-driven society. This discipline has evolved significantly over the years, integrating concepts from various fields such as computer science, library science and social sciences, thereby establishing its relevance and necessity in contemporary academia and practices. The justification of information science as a discipline can be articulated through several key points. So, first point is unique core focus. Information science has a specific focus on manifested information and the practices surrounding it, which differentiates it from other fields. This unique perspective allows it to address complex research problems that require interdisciplinary approaches while maintaining its distinct identity. Now, the interdisciplinary nature. Firstly, information science is inherently interdisciplinary, drawing from various fields such as cognitive science, organizational theory, management science, computer science. So, Habner emphasizes that information science is concerned with the analysis, construction, deployment, use, evaluation and management of information system artifacts in organizational settings, highlighting its organizational and technical dimension. This interdisciplinary approach is further supported by Hung and Chang, who note that the field of information science has high degree of collaboration with researchers from outside traditional library and information science, indicating a broader engagement with various academic disciplines. This collaborative nature is essential for the development of new knowledge and methodologies as seen in the increasing number of co-authored papers across discipline, which reflects the dynamic and interconnected nature of research in information science. While information science draws from various fields such as computer science, sociology, and psychology, its ability to analyze these perspectives into cohesive framework is essential for understanding the broader implication of information in society. This synthesis enhances its relevance and applicability across multiple domains. So, contribution to knowledge. Moreover, the methodologies employed in information science research are diverse and continually evolving. Wilson discusses the challenges of defining information science as a unitary discipline, suggesting that the concept of integrative levels can help explain the field's fragmentation and necessity of applying social scientific research methods to investigate information as a social phenomenon. This perspective is echoed by Pandey, who highlights the dynamic nature of research techniques in library and information science, indicating that the discipline is not static but rather adapts to new challenges and technologies. The emergence of specialized areas such as bioinformatics further illustrates the adaptability of information science as it combines biological data analysis with information management techniques. The discipline contributes significantly to various areas such as information literacy, knowledge management, and user studies. These contributions demonstrate its importance in addressing contemporary challenges in information handling and dissemination. Academic recognition, it is another point. Information science programs are found across diverse academic faculties, informatics, social science, indicating its broad acceptance within the academic community. This dispersion reflects the multifaceted nature of the discipline and its integration into various scholarly contexts. Evolving identity, information science also possesses a rich and expanding body of literature that supports its status as a distinct discipline. So, Lavery et al. Provide a bibliometric analysis that chronicles the evolution of library and information science over its first 100 years, demonstrating its growth and increasing diversity of its literature. So, the ongoing discourse about the identity of information science, whether it is meta-science or an inter-science, highlights its dynamic nature. Scholars advocate for a vision of information science that embraces broader concepts beyond mere technical aspects, positioning it is a central discipline in understanding the role of information in modern society. So, despite this justification, challenges remain regarding the field's fragmentation due to its interdisciplinary nature. Some argue that this could lead to a dilution of its core identity if not managed effectively. Furthermore, this is called for more robust theoretical frameworks to solidify its status as an independent discipline rather than merely an auxiliary to others. While there are valid concerns regarding the identity and cohesion of information science as a discipline, its unique focus on information interdisciplinary contributes and growing academic recognition provide substantial justification for its status within academic landscape. The future information science and its impacts on society. As technological advancement continue to reshape the landscape of information science, the discipline is poised to play a crucial role in addressing societal challenges and enhancing human experiences. The rapid evolution of artificial intelligence, data analytics, and cloud computing is transforming how information is collected, processed, and disseminated, ultimately influencing decision making across various sectors, including healthcare, education, government, etc. The ability of harness big data will empower organizations to develop innovative solutions that are more responsive to societal needs, such as personalized medicine and tailored educational programs. However, this transformation not only offers opportunities but also raises significant ethical consideration regarding privacy, data security, and the digital divide. As information scientists navigate these complexities, their contribution will be instrumental in fostering an equitable information society that prioritizes transparency, inclusivity, and responsible utilization of data, ensuring that technological progress benefits all members of society effectively and justly. Now we can conclude in summarizing the discourse surrounding information science as a distinct discipline. It is evident that the field is at a crossroads, grappling with both recognition and relevance. Scholars within academia are increasingly challenging the necessity and validity of information systems. Departments questioning the fields of foundational core and its integration into broader business functions. Concurrently, practitioners often overlook the significance of information science as a dedicated area of study, as highlighted in recent reports highlighting the IT labor shortage. This duality underscores the need for information science to clearly define its unique contribution and in the context of evolving educational demands. Moreover, as educators face diverse challenges in teaching students with special needs, including those in science, the discipline must adapt to fulfill the skills required for the 21st century, such as effective communication and problem solving. Ultimately, the future of information science hinges on its ability to establish a cohesive identity that encompasses both theoretical rigor and practical application. And these are the references. And last, we can ask for few questions, that is, what are the key subjects included in information science and how do they interrelate? Another question may be, discuss the core components of information science and debates surrounding its curriculum. Another may be asked, how do the institutional and organizational features define academic discipline, particularly in information science? Next, another question may be, what are the general characteristics of academic disciplines and how do they apply to information science? So, thanks to everybody. We can say, if we know, our library science is a discipline that can develop our subject in the world. Thank you.